Welcome back to Glow Up or Get Out. I am your host, Sam.
And I'm your host, or other host, Mel.
Welcome back if you've been here before. If not, welcome in general. Glad you're here. Today, we're going to be talking about young love.
Young love.
Your first love.
Crushes.
High school love. Just like young back in the day. Like if you're in your 20s, it's your first love. Old love, maybe not. Maybe your first love's in your 20s. I don't know. But either you can listen and relate and recall the funny ass times, or you can be in high school and just laugh at our fucking mistakes.
And maybe not repeat them.
God. Don't do what we did. But maybe do. We learned a lot.
So let's get into this shit.
So crushes in high school, or crushes in general, I just don't really remember that well.
I don't either. I think when you're a kid though, those crushes feel like you're in love. Like it's like,
oh my
holy
God.
Shit, I can see my entire future with this person. And you're like,
Okay, you're right. I think I'm already confusing the two.
exactly. So this is why I think it's funny to talk about, because we're all kind of confused on like what love is until you kind of experience it as a full-blown adult, or like until you realize the realities. Yeah.
Let's just get into an embarrassing story right away, I guess.
Okay, let's fucking go.
So I had a crush. So embarrassing. I had a crush in high school. I was a freshman. He was a sophomore. And if he listens to this, he's gonna absolutely know this is him. So sorry. This is so embarrassing. But his younger brother, who was a freshman in high school, was dating.
Okay, I know who this is about.
Was dating my best friend. They were dating. We were like best friends, like me and this other guy, the brother. So then he was like, oh, you should like hang out with my older brother. And I was like, oh, hells yeah, he's a sophomore.
You're like, period.
He's so cute. Like, whatever, I don't know. Like the things we based also like cuteness off of was just like, he's a sophomore.
He's an athlete. He's like
He's about to get a car in a year.
Oh my God.
He lives nearby. He goes to the same high school, of course he lives nearby. Anyways, but yeah, so I was all about it. He was friends with like the seniors, so like he was even cooler.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I was like damn, I'm a loser, like I'm a nobody, and he made sure I felt like that.
No.
Because like I think 2 years later, let me just tell the story. So basically I was like in love with him. Like I thought I was in love. I was waiting for those text messages. My ringtone was tongue-tied.
Not that.
Like it was deep. And I just remember him not being that into it. Like him just being like, yeah, that's cool. And then like
what are you talking about?
Well, he had never met me, because I think this was like during summer still, or he just hadn't met me yet, like at school, even though we went to the same fucking school. Whatever.
Were you guys like texting or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like we're texting, and I think we had like seen each other on FaceTime. Like he was FaceTiming the brother, like her boyfriend, and then like, oh, for sure. Damn it, I just name dropped him.
I'll believe it. You'll believe it.
That's not his name. Anyways. So whatever, the guy's brother is like, oh, you should meet Sam, whatever. So then he's like, oh, what's up, whatever. We exchanged numbers, that's how we started talking.
Okay.
Like, stupid. And I was obsessed instantly. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. And like, just thinking back to the conversations we had are hilarious. I think he had asked me like, are you skinny? Like, how big are your boobs? Like, just super stupid high school questions.
First of all, why did we ever think that was okay to fucking answer?
Because our answers were like, yes. Because we're stupid.
I'm just like,
yeah.
I remember questions like that. Like, why the fuck were you...
Also, can you see me? Like, why are you asking me?
How embarrassing to have to ask those questions, though. Like, what is it that you...
It's embarrassing for you, boo.
Anyway.
So, he had asked me that, whatever, and then I specifically, this like one specific memory, I sent him a pic. You know in high school you used to do like the heart stickers or sunscreen to get a tan?
Yeah.
So I did that like on my hip. I was like, I'm so like, so adult. And
so adult.
And I sent him a picture of it, and his response was, oh damn, you are skinny. And I was like in the moment I was probably like, He's so right.
So I'm so skinny.
He is so nice.
Not literal.
Like, he could have at least been
like fucking perpetrating eating
the skinny,
disorders.
yes, the skinny bitch me. And he could have, like, I get it. It's attractive to him. But he could have said, like, wow, you're look
fit.
hot.
You're hot. Yeah, it doesn't have...
Just keep it
Don't fucking say...
baseline.
Why are you saying skinny? Weird ass?
Because he was 15.
Oh my god.
But that tumbled down quickly when I realized he didn't really like me that much. And then I got grounded because I got caught drinking alcohol in my basement with my... Look at that. Full circle. And I got my phone taken away until summer. Or until summer. Yeah, until summer. So like 2 months, a month or something. And he made like 0 attempts to text me the whole time. And like I would text him like, hey, I like know where my mom hid my phone. Sorry, Mom. And I would like text him like, hey, like my mom's not gonna be home for an hour, like if you want to talk. Like literally it was so innocent. Like just like hee hee, like I miss you, I want to talk to you. I'm grounded, but I have my phone. And he would just not either respond or it would be like, cool. Or like I don't even remember. But yeah, I think it just phased out. I don't really remember specifically how. Maybe he got a girlfriend or something. But then the kicker is 2 years later, I was friends with those senior people.
So you were a
junior.
Junior.
Yeah. So 2 years later, I was friends with those senior people. So they were like in college already.
Yeah.
Or something. And they told me like, oh yeah, I went to a party with him. And he was like sleeping on the couch with some girl. Like during the time that I was like talking to him, which like.
Who cares?
At the end of the day, I was like, he's my boyfriend. But in the moment, I was like, this motherfucker really didn't give a shit about me. And I'm like, well, no shit, bitch. You thought he cared about you? He did not.
Sad.
So yeah, I was like fully in love with him. Embarrassingly, like.
See, this is what I mean. It's like, what the, what?
Who let me be like that?
Who let us think that was like love? What the fuck? I guess we all have to do that, right?
And we all thought it too, like, my friends, like, it's not like they were like, she's stupid.
No, they were like, dude, he's into you.
Or like, just like, cute. Like, didn't even give it any thought. It was just like, thoughts. Wow, he's a sophomore.
Like, fucking funny, dude.
It was just like the gag of it, like, oh my god, we could be sisters. Like, if we got married. Like,
okay, that took it to a different level.
But that's what I'm saying. He was a crush, but we took it upon ourselves to be like, we're like gonna get married and stuff. Or like, we're so in love. Like, Samantha, I'm not gonna say his last name. Like, you know, like that was the whole thing.
I can't, dude.
So yeah, that was probably like my first big crush before a relationship.
Before like an actual relationship? Or like a
so like
your first
anything.
Relationship, like even if it was like a kiddie relationship, like a puppy love relationship.
Yeah, he was like, it's not all pathetic. I'm like, he's the first one that was kind of reciprocated.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And then after that, I just broke people's hearts because he
Girl,
broke mine.
why do we have like the same fucking story? I was gonna say,
what is it? You are. Villain origin story?
Yeah, villain origin story. That's us. I feel like my first crush, actually...
Don't, like, do, like... I mean...
I'm not saying, like, 2nd grade. No, like...
I mean, like, 7th grade, I had a boyfriend, but we barely held hands.
Honestly.
See?
Oh my god, dude, wait. This is the most dramatic fucking story.
Tell
okay.
Me. I'm ready.
I was in 7th grade. Was I in 7th grade? Hold on, give me a second.
Regroup.
No, I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm like thinking if the timeline's correct.
Like, yeah.
It is because there was a year older. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So we were in 7th. I was in 7th grade. I was like new into middle school, honestly. And
well, your middle school was 7th, 8th?
Yeah, 7th and 8th grade, and then it was like high school right after.
Okay.
They didn't have 6th grade.
Interesting.
So 7th grade, I'm like, new school, new set of people from like the same district. You know, like there's this new set of fucking boys. I didn't know I liked girls at the time, I guess. Or I knew that I was ashamed. Anyway. I was like, new set of boys to like, because you fucking grow up from like kinder to 6th grade knowing
with the same motherfuckers.
Which is another dramatic fucking thing. But it was like 7th grade, fresh start, let's fucking go. I immediately like this skater-looking ass white boy.
Love that.
The only white boy in
You're
the
giving
entire
Travis energy.
The entire fucking school. I was like, yeah, he's fucking sick.
You said, I'm different. I like the white one.
I was like, I like that one. Stupid. And then, like, I just realized he was kind of unattainable, and I was like, I'm not gonna go for it. Because he was like, really popular. Even though he was kind of fucking weird. I forgot his name.
I'm sure he remembers.
Maybe an R.
Robert. Let's go with Robert.
Robert. But anyway, I thought he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple days, like, happen, and, like, this new kid comes in, which I already felt settled, you know, like, a week into school, I felt settled.
You were like, I know everybody, I know everything.
A new kid walks in, ends up, like, kind of having the same vibe as, like, this other kid, and they're friends, but he's in my grade. So I was like, attainable,
you
bitch.
Said,
I said, this is
run
attainable.
it.
But before, I was like, maybe it won't happen, so I'm not gonna, like, go for it,
I love
like,
how
too
much thought is
hard.
going
It was
into
so much
it.
fucking thought, dude. But at the same time, I was, like, really crushing on this other guy who, like, I think I've said a story about him before, like, where I was, like, my embarrassing story where, like, I fell off of like, the chair was pulled up from under me.
And he laughed.
That guy, yeah, fuck him. Anyway, he ends up, like, being in love with me in high school, which we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I was, like, trying to decide between which one to go for.
You're like, unattainable, attainable. What are we doing?
What are we doing here? And I remember that everyone, like, started to hang out at, like, one of my friends' like, places after school. And it was, like, the hangout spot. And I was like, I need to get myself invited, and I need to get him invited. And so I was like, I was already going to her house for a while at that point. But I was like, I need her to tell me that she wants me to come over today. And then I'm going to slyly be like, hey, you should invite him because he lives by you.
Sly. So sly.
I was like, and he's new.
You're like,
He
be
needs
nice.
friends.
Be nice.
And so I did that. And she just, like, took off from there, honestly. We, like, exchanged each other's, like, numbers. At first it was, like, a very, like, friendly thing. I guess, like, my strategy was, like, make him think that you're really close, almost like brother and sister, and then flip it. Because he'll like you, because you'll understand that you guys have, like,
so
similar,
premeditated.
just really weird.
I did that as well.
I didn't think about it that way back then. But
you weren't like, he's my brother,
but
and
now
then
I'm like,
let's get it.
But now I'm like, that was a skill.
Manipulation. See, I think I was manipulative, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, I was, like, getting what I wanted, but I wasn't, like...
I wasn't, like, putting plans together.
Right.
Right now it sounds that way. But it was a mess back in the day in my fucking head.
Wow.
But yeah, that happened, and then I did the whole, like... They ended, like, my friend and him got close, too. We were all, like, a friendship. She's gay.
And she knew at the time.
She knew at the time.
Okay.
We're all, like, just chilling.
I was like, you better watch that bitch.
We're all just chilling. And then, like, it becomes, like, I'm going to tell you a secret to my girlfriend. And I'm like, I really like him. And then it turns into, like, this whole thing where, like, she tells him that I like him. And it's just so dramatic. We ended up, like, being together but not together for a while. And, like, the thing we did the most was hold hands. Like, I never kissed this boy.
Middle school, all I did was hold hands.
I only held his hand. But, excuse me, my friend, at the same time that all this is happening, she's, like, going for this other guy. And I remember the day she told me that she tried to suck his dick. And I was like, oh, this is...
You said, this is what we're doing?
I was like, oh, this is 7th grade. I was like, I am not ready. I am not ready.
So you broke up with him?
No.
Oh, okay.
He didn't ask that of me. He's a nice guy. But...
He didn't even have to ask. I would have been like, oh, I gotta go.
No.
Exit.
I think we were both, like, very, very innocent at the time.
I appreciate that for him.
But it was so dramatic. Like, we had this whole, like, revelation story where, like, we, like, basically confess our love to each other.
Wow.
It was so dramatic. In my head, I was like, this is a movie.
But, like, the deepest conversation you probably had was, like, my parents suck.
Yeah, some shit like that. Or, like, my parents suck because...
Wow.
Or, like, we're both depressed.
Oh, God.
I don't know, some
Do you like
shit.
Hollywood Undead? I love Hollywood Undead.
We were both, like, fucking into Screamo and shit at the time, too. Just, like, straight up just emo kids. It was just a lot.
Fun.
He like, I made him a CD. I burned him a CD. I'm that old.
Wow.
I burned him a CD of like a playlist. Dude, I was making playlists back in the day still.
You know.
And wait for it. I fucking drew him a cover art. Gave it to him, and inside I was like, there's a note in there.
Oh.
And it was like a bunch of love songs.
So
and then I like wrote how much I liked him.
Wow.
And I gave it to him like right after we went somewhere, so that I can like go home. But what happened was my mom didn't take me home. I mean, pick me up in time. And they lived like really close to each other. So when he found out, he just like ran to her house, and I was still there. And then like it started raining.
Oh, it's very Hillary.
And then
Duff.
he like
you just
asked me
held
to come
hands.
outside. We held hands, and we were like this with like each other's forehead for like forever. And then we were together for a while. And then I was like, I don't think I like you anymore after a while. And I was like, I think this is more like a friendship.
You said this whole brother-sister thing really got to me.
It really got to me, so I don't think it's
really are
working.
just my friend.
So that happened. And then
wow.
it became like, I ended up liking another one of my guy friends who
you need to chill with that trope.
who I had like a
chemistry
like brotherly sisterly like besties vibe.
Why was it always like the brother sister?
I
think it's because we just felt like close to
Yeah,
them.
it's like
It was
we
like
don't
the
know what to call
closest
it.
thing I have.
It's like you can't just be my guy best friend. It has to be like you're my brother.
But then you end up liking them.
So
and
it's
you're
weird.
Like,
yeah.
maybe we should have stuck with friend.
Yeah, just friend is fine.
Yeah, no, that happened to me as well.
But the weird part is that like I'm kind of a trifling bitch where like I was trying to set him up with my best friend for like entire year, and like he didn't like her. So then I was just like, you know what, I have to confess something. I think I like you. Like I thought my life was a movie. I just kept like
You said, you know what, I'm the main character.
I was just like, I'm the main character. I'm gonna flip the plot right now. And just
you
like
said, you know
have
what, he
a
doesn't
moment.
like her. It's fine.
It's fine. It was
I
always
like him.
me. It was always me. So that's
You said
that.
it's because you're in love with me, right? And he's like,
And then
that could work.
That lasted for a while, up until like high school. And then he did a bunch of dumb shit to me.
Gross.
I asked him to Sadie's.
Oh, he's the one that... Wait, Sadie's is high school?
I know.
It lasted
up until
through
high
high
school. Up until like the Sadie's moment, and then I was like, I'm done with your ass.
Good for you, because that was disgusting. And that story is also on the podcast, so...
So go listen
find
to
it.
that. But yeah, just like dramatic shit like that. But I thought I was like in love with these boys.
Okay, yeah.
Like straight up, I was like confessing so many feelings. Obviously, they were very surface level feelings, but for the moment,
I wish we could read those. Okay, my 7th grade boyfriend. 8th grade. It's like funny because everyone dated like.
Yeah, no, because it's all the same fucking pool.
It's all the same people. It's like, well, he dated her, but like whatever. Like, that's my best friend, but whatever.
Whatever, it's fine.
Like, and we didn't even talk about it. It was just like, oh yeah, he's my boyfriend. You know? Like, it'd just be like, oh, we're together now.
It was a little weird at my school. It was like,
girls were a little bit.
You have to like address it. Be like, I think we like each other. I'm sorry if that bothers you. Kind of situation.
I think we only addressed it if
someone was like,
it was like serious.
Yeah.
So.
Everything was serious.
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I was a fucking backstabbing bitch or something.
I'm telling you,
it wasn't me.
We were trifling.
It wasn't me. Okay, I had like half a boyfriend. So in 8th grade, I was with this kid. His best friend was my brother, right? Okay, got it. All the tables are laid out, or cards. He had dated like my best friend from elementary school after me. Oh my god, what a trifling bitch! I remember being mad. I do remember being mad, and I was trying to get at my brother on that trip. So like,
that
was down.
The way if you hear this like out of context,
yeah,
the whole
not my brother. Promise, ew.
Friendship brother.
Before I was dating, he was like kind of the talk of the town at school because he was tall.
He was
so,
the
like,
talk of my side of town too at one point. He moved schools.
He ended up going to her high school, but anyways, he was obviously a hot commodity. Like all the girls were like, he's tall, he wears Hot Topic shirts, need to have him. He had a rat tail.
He's different.
He had a rat tail. He was
Ew,
different.
dude,
Yeah,
no.
I know.
I know those kids. Okay.
Mhm. God, we won the 8th grade Valentine's Day King and Queen. It's a very beautiful moment that we shared. I was wearing a red lifeguard hoodie.
Oh.
He, I think, was more in love with me at the moment. I broke up with him over text. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, his mom really wanted to meet me, and I was like, I really don't want to meet your mom. I'm so sorry.
What the fuck? You're such a dick. She's like, I'm like not that into you.
Bro, we barely held hands.
If
Barely.
Fair enough.
I want to meet your mom. If I don't like you that much. So, anyways, we barely held hands, whatever. It was Valentine's Day. It must have been before the dance or something. And he did your little trick where he gave me a bear with chocolates, and then inside the bear there was a note. And he was like, there's a note inside, and then ran to his car and left. And I was like, okay. So I just stood there.
Like your heart drops when they say something like that. You're like,
oh my god.
I'm just gonna say.
Luckily he wasn't breaking up with me. Can you imagine? That would have been crazy.
Just like, happy Valentine's Day, bitch.
Yeah, I said fuck you for not meeting my mom. It just brings back so many memories. Whatever. It was like a love note. He was like obsessed, so happy with me. I don't even know how, because we'd never hung out outside of school probably. So yeah, that one ended. But it's just funny to think that like we're out here like having crushes and like having serious crushes on their friends in the meantime as well. But like we cover it with like, it's my brother.
That was the key word.
That's my
like
bro.
If you called someone your brother at any point.
And this other girl, she was like also calling him her brother.
Oh hell no.
And I was like,
oh, keyword, huh, bitch. You're like, oh, I got you. I fucking got you.
And on that 8th grade trip, so I was trying to get at a multitude of people, right?
You were juggling a lot over there.
Hey, not compared to some of the other girls. Some of the girls snuck out of like, you need to do like little extracurriculars, walk around the mall.
Oh.
Some girl went to the bathroom with one of Mr. Men's.
What they doing there?
Rumor has it. So shit like that was happening.
Scandalous.
I hadn't even kissed anybody at this point. Yeah, so I was trying to get at him. I was like, I want to sit next to you on the plane. Like, let's sit next to each other on the plane.
It's a long ride.
And the other bitch was like, he's my brother. He's gonna sit next to me, bitch. And I was like, and we were friends. Like, me and this other girl.
You're like, girl, no.
So I was like, like, it's up to you. It was like all up to him. So then he was like, well, like he was trying to be all political about it. Like, well, if I sit next to her like on this and then next to you on that, and like I'm like, dang, he's juggling his bitches.
He's juggling that shit.
But like we kept up the gag that we didn't like each other until after high school. Me and this brother. So like, who's really hurt? Like I wasn't that bad.
No one.
I had to sit next to someone else. Whatever.
Whatever.
He said
Is another bitch?
Or
is it a friend?
It's both.
Oh, was it another brother?
Hey, low-key, I didn't call this one my brother, but yeah.
But he was a brother.
He was a brother.
I got you. Fucking scandalous, dude. I feel like our little middle school selves had so much drama.
So much.
It's just like, it consumed me. How did I have time for schoolwork?
I'm like so worried. That's probably why I was doing it so fast. That's why I was such a straight A student. I was like, I need to get this shit done so I can worry about my other stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't text my man. My brother.
Not my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's fucking weird. Like how crushes happen. And then I think things get really serious when you're like in later high school.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
But you still have no idea what you're doing is the terrible part. Which like
totally.
I don't think like your parent like I'm trying to think when I have kids one day what's gonna make that experience more seamless. On one hand, I'm like, you kind of need to have some sort of, like, not trauma, but, like, some sort of, like
trouble.
Learning experience.
Yeah, learning experience.
That's the good way to put it. You know, go through some shit, but then also, like, it would have been nice to have some, like, you know, it's okay that happened. Or, like, you can talk to me if you want. You know, like, maybe that's the balance. Like, not telling them, like, don't be with them because blah, 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 blah. Unless, like, it's really serious, obviously. Like, it's
also,
abusive.
like, it's, like, never that serious when you're a kid. Especially if you're dating, if your kid's dating somebody or, like, crushing on somebody, because I wouldn't say dating. Crushing on somebody that's, like, the same age as them. I think they're all in the same, like, level of like, innocence and, like...
I mean,
that
girl was in the bathroom.
But that's like, yeah. I don't know if like, but that I feel like that happens to kids
that like, have something going on.
Maybe. That have something going on, or like their parents don't tell them like, hey, don't teach them about like consent, or like, don't do anything you don't want to. Like, if you genuinely don't want to do it, don't do it, please. You know what I mean? Like, learning the shit.
Yeah, there's a lot
There's a lot to grasp there. What was your, like, first, like, relationship? Like, real. Not like your 6-year relationship, but the like, one before it. Like, maybe one before that.
Well, that was, like, the first story I told, kind of.
Okay.
And then after him, there was, like, 2 guys. They were, like, right after one another, I want to say. Like, okay. It was sophomore year. Yeah, it was sophomore year. So there was, like, 2. There was one guy freshman year. 2 guys sophomore year that I was, like, obsessed with. Sneaking them around, staying on the phone till, like, whatever. Not at the same time. After each other. Okay, I think one of them I ended it with. Girl, I was so scared to kiss a boy.
Me too.
So
I
scared.
was really scared.
And, like, I don't know if the guys...
When was your first kiss?
Freshman year, but, like...
Me too. Aww.
But, like, it was when I snuck out, and, like, it was that stupid guy, and he, like, made me kiss him. Like, he was, like, mad that, like, I woke him up at 2 a.m., even though I walked with all my friends from my fucking house miles to come see him. He was like, "You're not gonna kiss me?" And I was like, "No."
Ew.
I was like, "No, I didn't." Like, I wasn't about to tell him. He was a year older than me. I was like, "No, I've never kissed anyone." So, whatever. I think that traumatized me. So then, the guy after that, he was also always trying to get a kiss, and I was just like, like, just turning my head.
You're like, ha!
I was like, ha ha! And then, like, some of them would catch on and be like, "Have you never kissed anyone before?" And I was like,
"Shut your mouth."
I was like, "Yeah, I have." The heck? I was like, "Maybe I just don't like you." Like, I would just start being rude to cover my own ass. I don't think I said that to him, but I think I said to the one right after that, I was like, I think I said something along the lines of, like, "I feel violated." Like, something along those lines. I definitely wasn't smart enough. But I had told this other guy, like, "Yeah, I just don't really feel comfortable with it," because I was, like, violated by this other guy. And he was like, "Oh, for sure." He was such a sweetheart. He was so nice. We ended up being friends. Like, it was fine. But then the guy after him, he really liked me. And I think because we were, like, real close to, like, sealing some deals.
Okay.
Your face. Like, we were real close to being more than friends, basically. Like, I actually kissed this one. I actually would kiss this guy. And, yeah, for whatever reason, I was just like, never mind. Don't know why. I cannot remember for the life of me. Dude, I think I was scared to commit because of that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think that guy was, like, he was so off that when these guys were like, "Yes, yes, yes," I was like, I'm scared now. So, was it really my fault? No, it's always his. It's always a man's fault.
Fuck men, is what she said.
But, yeah, and then it was, like, my 6-year relationship, so...
That's so interesting. As you were just speaking, I was, like, trying to figure out when certain things happen in my own fucking life, because I'm, like, I had one relationship in high school, basically, but I was, like, I think I kissed this other person, and I don't know when that, like, happened, because my first kiss was my relationship. But I'm, like, that lasted up until... like, the next serious thing. Does that make sense? Or maybe I never kissed that guy. No, I think I did, because I remember, like, I don't like how he kisses, and I remember being like, I don't like it.
The tea.
Also, maybe it was in between. Maybe I was juggling.
I think you were.
I must have been. And I think I ultimately picked this other fool.
Well, literally the other guy couldn't kiss anyway.
Fucking weird ass. He, like, oh my god. Anyway. I added him, like, not too long, maybe, like, a year ago. I added him again, like, on Instagram. Because I was like, I just want to, like, see what everyone's up to. He has a kid, so I was like, it's fine. Nothing's going to happen. This fucking weirdo literally straight up, like, responds to, like, my selfies as if, like... And I have, like, pictures of Logan. Like, it was just weird. I was like, block.
Bro, men are like that. They don't care if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or anything. They're just like, whatever, I'm gonna shoot my shot.
And call it a fucking day.
They're just like hoping everyone's a polygamist out here or something. But then when y'all together,
it's like, no more monogamy, bro. Fucking weird asses. Anyway, I was like trying. It was not like a brotherly situation at this point.
Oh, thank God.
It was like we were friends, but my friend was like they were brother and sister. But I don't think she ever liked him. So maybe that term doesn't relate to her. Maybe, I don't fucking know. He was, like, honestly, he was ugly, and...
Honestly, he was ugly!
Kind of looked like a lizard. Anyways.
Picturing a Rango as.
Literally looks like Rango. I was trying to, like, reel him in, basically, because he was kind of, like, a cool guy. He was, like, on varsity.
Oh, my God.
But was, like, a sophomore. Or, like, a freshman. I was like, oh shit.
The baseball players, especially, I was like always trying to be like.
I was a basketball player.
There's some cute basketball players too.
I fucked around in there.
I will not discriminate.
I think I also played football for a while.
Hey, the football players too, the ones that went between.
I was like, I'm just a girl in band, like, trying to go for the popular kids.
As a freshman, I was like, I'm just here. I'm in nothing.
Anywho, so then, like, I was trying to go for that.
Uh-huh.
And then I ended up, like, somehow getting kissed by that boy. Like, I think it was, like, the year going into sophomore, like, the summer of going into sophomore, if that makes sense.
Okay, yes.
That was, like, my first kiss. And, I think during that time, I was in color guard, so, like, I spent a lot of time...
Like, on campus?
On campus,
Mm-hmm.
like, during the summer and shit. So, like, I think that's when I juggled the two. Because the other one that I was kissing, he was older than me. He was a senior. And he was, like, what do they call it? Are they called majors? Like, in band,
Majors?
what are they fucking called?
Like, the guy who does...
No, he's not, but, like, he's also, like, captain of, like, the band.
I have no idea.
The marching band.
Captain sounds
I need
great,
to look it
though.
up. There's something specific.
Major sounded very Cadet Kelly.
Or field commander. Either one.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, he was, like, the drum major or the field commander.
Uh-huh.
And so he was really important.
So you really had to...
So I shot... I was...
But you're kissing someone else.
Well, he was, like, in love with me. And I was like, fuck it. Like, let's fuck around and see what happens. He took me to movies and, like, he drove. So I thought he was cool.
Wow.
But then we kissed and I didn't like him.
Oh, so he's the one you kissed. That was like...
Yeah.
So he took you to a movie, that's nice.
In multiple movies. We were really close. He was like a brother.
What a nice guy. He was like actually like a brother. And once you kiss him and you're like, brother.
Actually brother.
Let's dab it up.
Which is sad part is I think he like still tried to be my friend after and I'm really sorry. And he's married now, it's fine.
No, but it's always really sad when you realize you were kind of an asshole in high school.
Yeah.
To certain people.
So then that happened, and then I had my first, like, relationship. And that one was, like, it was cute. It was literally puppy love. But, like, he's gross now, so. But, like, it was the first, like, person that met my mom and my dad, and, like, he would hang out at my house on, like, certain weekdays, and shit like that. And his mom didn't really like me, but it's fine.
I'm shocked. Probably because you were wearing Hot Topic shirts. She was probably like, this girl's too edgy.
I was like, whatever, bitch.
Yeah.
I literally whipped this boy into shape, though. Like, he was, like, a fuck up, but, like, an athlete fuck up. So, like, I was like, you can get a scholarship if you don't fuck up. So I would, like, help him do his homework. Sometimes I would do it for him.
Why are we like this?
I don't know, dude. I was really cool. Nothing about it. But then that turned into a fucking serious something else, like, after that happened. That was, like, I think that was, like, my first love.
That guy.
Not the relationship,
The one after that.
but the one after that. I feel like it felt more real, if that makes sense. There's also, like, a lot of trauma there, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's probably why it feels rooted.
Yeah, but I feel like young love is just, like, really...
Silly?
It's just very silly, yeah.
It like doesn't feel silly at all.
No, it feels dramatic.
But in comparison to like heartbreak when you like actually loved someone, you know, to like that, it felt like, okay, let me just give you an example. Like that whole other guy's story, the first like crush that he didn't like me back, right?
Right.
When things were ending, in my head, I was thinking, this is the end of the world. Like, I'm so sad. I'm never going to want to be with anyone ever again. Which, like, there's trauma there, of course, whatever. But, like, and then experiencing heartbreak from, like, ending an actual relationship.
It's so different.
I was, like, actually, like, I don't want to move. I don't want to eat. I feel nauseous. I feel sick. Like, you genuinely feel, like, broken, I guess. Which is so sad.
Yeah.
And that was still young love, but I was older, so I guess kind of not. Like, at the tail end of my...
there's a difference between, like, young love, first love, and then, like, real love. You know what I mean? That's how I categorize it in my brain.
Yeah. I could see that.
Because, like, young love is, like, those, like, little silly relationships you had as a kid, you know? Or you're, like, figuring it out. Like, your first, yeah. And then, like, first love is, like, a traumatic kind of experience. Doesn't that, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, the other ones aren't very traumatic. Like, it feels traumatic when you're a kid, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, your first love, you still remember it, and it still is kind of like, that was kind of painful.
Right. And young love is more like, I thought I was in love, or
and
I thought
so
I loved
silly.
them.
Yeah. And now you can laugh about it, but, like, the other one kind of still a little... It doesn't, like, hurt, per se, but, like, it's just, like, that's a soft spot for a little bit.
I was embarrassing, bro. I liked a senior when I was a freshman, because I went to elementary school with him, so I thought I had an in, you know? I was like, we kind of know each other. And I think, I was a sophomore, and he was a senior or something. And then there was a girl who was a junior who liked him, too. And we were both on ASB, and I was like...
You're like, it's a fucking fight,
She was Mormon, I must add. So technically, she couldn't have been having any of that because he wasn't Mormon.
Girl, you're like, technically he's mine already.
I was like, look, you're older, but I'm not Mormon. Like, we both have things to go off here. And I think I was, like, Facebook messaging him. Obsessed. And I was like, I'm gonna wear your number. Like...
I remember that.
The football game. We probably talked about this in the first episode, but I wrote his number, and then we both showed up, and she had his number on her legs, and I was
How awkward, Sam.
I was like, girlie, you know him? I think they ended up dating for, like, a couple months. Him and I know.
You're like,
probably because I was, like,
so I lost.
12. But it was a good try. But don't embarrass yourself too much out there, okay? That's all I gotta say.
It builds
girl.
It builds character.
I spelled his name, not this guy, but different guy. I spelled his name in sign language on Instagram and posted it.
That's like the level of
and he just liked it. It's next level.
That's like the same embarrassment as me asking this guy to Sadie's and him not showing up. Not to Sadie's, but like him not showing up to be asked.
Yours was low key a little more embarrassing because people were there.
Because people were watching.
I mean, I guess people were still
watching on Facebook. Fuck, that's so embarrassing. Wow.
Because I think it was also probably more on the outs.
Girl, I feel like I'm really I should probably talk about that in therapy. That's real trauma. No wonder I'm embarrassed of, like, public speaking and weird shit like that. Just, like, showing up.
I put myself out there and I got shot the fuck down.
I was literally blasted.
We're embarrassing.
That is really embarrassing. Wow.
Okay, so yeah, what was the difference between a crush
and, like, feeling like your first
love?
Because,
like, I think you can say, like, none of those people were...
I think, like, first, I mean, sure, like, with, like, young love, you, like, experience a lot of new things. But I think with, like, your first love, it's, like, it's, like, just slightly more deep. It's, like, you're finally getting to, like, the right conversations, and you're, like, starting to, like, know a person on a day-to-day versus just, like, at school. Does that make sense?
I was gonna say...
What?
I was gonna say, like, you're both reciprocating at the same level.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing for me. Because it was either I was reciprocating, or I was giving too much and they weren't, or they were giving me too much and I wasn't. And there's obviously a reason for that. Also,
it's like, young love is very much like, you just grab what you can get kind of a thing. Versus, like, your first love is, like, the reciprocation's there. Like, we're each
trying to get each other. Like, it's both, it's like, for each other.
It's kind of even. In my case, like...
You're like, it's a blurred line. It's a blurred line.
Sometimes I wonder how the other person feels about it. Like,
sometimes, yeah, I just want to, like, have
I wonder if I'm, like, delusional and I thought that was, like, my first love. But
and they're like...
I mean, for that person, it definitely wasn't.
Like, their first love?
Yeah, no. Considering my situation. It was like you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like 1.5.
Like a half.
1.5 to him.
Anyway.
I think that was, like, yeah, true, and, like, actually, like, going on dates that, like, were meaningful. Not just, like, let's go see a movie. It was like, do you want to go try this new place? Or...
It's also, like, at least for me, it was, like, so technically it started when we were both in high school, but he was a senior. So, like, for me, it was, like, we were going out to coffee after school and sitting and, like, having conversations, which sounds really sounds really adult also. I remember one of the things that he like did was like take a lot of pictures of me and with him, which I thought was very different from like young love, even though I kind of did that with my first boyfriend, but like I was like, it's because like everyone had to do that, you know, not because
you're like, I'm just photo bucketing it. It's not really a I love you
it's
thing.
just in the drafts. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude,
but
Snapchat wasn't even a thing until high school.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's so weird, huh?
We just used like Ask FM.
Yeah, and then
Twitter.
What's that one?
MySpace, Facebook.
What's the one where like
Tumblr?
No, it was like a kind of like instant messaging. What is
AIM?
it? No, it was like AIM, but it wasn't AIM. It was. Oh my god.
There was another messaging thing.
It was green.
Like PictoChat.
Green and black.
Green and black.
Kick.
Kick.
Do you remember Kick?
I do, but I don't really remember the look of it.
And then it turned to serious that like I went to his house.
Like know the mom, the dad, or whatever.
Yeah.
It
was just like slightly more intimate, more deep.
And you just both felt like, yay.
Yeah.
Let's get to know each other. I mean, I guess that's our experience. Maybe someone else's experience is a little less positive. It's just more like...
Yeah.
Because that could be their first love.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like, yeah.
It doesn't mean it's... I guess it doesn't have to be positive to be your first love, but...
I also believe that, like, after your first love, you don't necessarily, like...
So then falling out of love with that person, for me, it took a lot longer. I guess, like, falling out of love is going to look different for everyone, but I think overall the idea is that you realize you no longer agree on big topics, or you just don't have fun with each other anymore.
Or it's just, like, not working. It's just not working in general. Like, something's not working. It's not serving any growth in you. It's almost like this person or, like, this relationship that you have with this person is kind of just bringing you down. Because I think, like, different reasons can happen why you, like, fall out of love. For some people, it's just, like...
Yeah. I think it just typically grew apart.
Grew apart in some form. Yeah.
Safe thing to say. Like, why'd you break up? We grew apart. Yeah. It's just, like, in a lot of ways, right?
Or betrayal.
Well, yes.
in my instance, yeah.
Okay, so there's the grew apart, and then there's betrayal.
Correct.
There is kind of an in-between for me.
I think, like...
I'm kind of in between.
Wait, that took me a second. Anyway. Yeah, it's like betrayal, don't align anymore in some form, or somewhere in the middle.
Or all the above. Yeah.
Yeah. So... Yeah.
Love.
I do wish that, I mean, people didn't tell me, but I wish that so...
Not like, that.
I think, like, because, like, now when I talk about it with, like, Jen,
like,
who was, like, there, she definitely, like, was a lot harsher on me because, like, she didn't fully understand the full length of, like, what something like that kind of relationship entails. I don't think everybody goes through that kind of a relationship in the same format, but she, like, learned firsthand what that felt like with a different person more recently. And so, like, now she was just like, yeah, I was probably really harsh on you. Like, it's hard to understand what really, like, goes into your mind, especially being young, but also, like, when you're kind of, like, being manipulated or, like, betrayed in that way, like, it feels like it's almost like you don't think you're falling out of love because, like, the betrayal is just, like, something that hurts you, but, like, that leads to a lot of shit that, like, then becomes, like, we're not aligning because you keep fucking hurting me. You know?
That's, like, the combo one.
The combo.
Oh, yeah, so that's why you kind of fall out of love.
Yeah.
You just realize shit ain't popping off no more the way it did.
Off.
You don't feel the same overall.
Yeah. I think sometimes feelings fade. Sometimes feelings need to just, like, switch up depending on what your situation is. But it's not a fucking easy task either way. Like...
Yeah, like, coming to accept either you don't like them anymore or they hurt you so much to the point where you're like, all right, now I gotta go. Because then you feel like if they hurt you so much, you're like, I invested so much freaking, like, love, time, energy into you, so how can I give up? And then if you're like, what was the other one? Betrayal. No, that was betrayal.
Misaligned.
I just don't like you anymore, or we don't align anymore. It's kind of like,
kind of feel like you wasted time,
or like maybe they'll change, or
or like maybe I can fix this, like we can fix
or
this
maybe
together.
maybe
it's me, something that
maybe
I
it's
did.
like a cool 3-month period I'm going through. Like, you just kind of make excuses.
And it also just like is really difficult when you're I feel like your young love and your first love is just like, it's really difficult to, I mean, love in general is fucking hard to navigate, but like those are especially hard because you're like growing into yourself. I mean, we're still growing, obviously. We're like pretty young.
We're still young.
But it's just so different when you're like 17 to like 21. Like, that age is just so hard in general, I think, because you don't really know who the fuck you are. Like, you've been going to school for so long, and all of a sudden, like, you could be going to college, but that's a whole different experience. Or you're not going to college, or doing something else. You're like figuring out what you are in like real life, you know, and that's like one aspect of it. And so just like all of that intertwined with like love is so hard. I think you can't like,
and like just being young and naive, or young and dumb.
Just young and naive, yeah, really.
Cause like, yeah, that's a good point. Like when you're in those like pivotal points in your life where you're like making major changes, which we'll talk about, I guess, later, because you're always going to make major changes in your life, you know, like career, family, whatever. You're always going to be making changes, but when you're that age, you really don't know how to, like, deal with it or, like, help someone else deal with it, so you just end up either becoming, like, controlling or passive or, like, whatever. You just don't handle it well, so, like, you have to use your tools to, like, not do that in next relationships. And it's not like, sometimes it's the person just wasn't gonna happen ever, but sometimes it's just like you're young, like the 15-year-old guy when we were 15. I'm like, not now. He was just dumb and young. I don't hold it to him now. I'm not like, what a fucking asshole, like he should have known better to sleep on a couch with some girl at a party, like not really, like,
no,
it's whatever. I'm sure he's a great guy now. Maybe.
Hopefully.
We can all pray.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's how I see the situation with, like, first love is, like, you're probably really young. And, like, learning. Like, I think, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I think there's, like, outside conditions that affect your decisions at that time. And when you're a kid, you can't change your surroundings, I guess.
Yeah, your environment.
You don't always have a say in that, so.
Yeah. I think, like, you can't really I mean, you can if you're really hurt and, like, things happen, but
yeah,
I would try to see, perspective is very interesting to think about when you, like, are thinking about these situations, because the other person could have been going through some tough shit, and, like, hurt people, you know?
Yeah, and that doesn't mean you have to, like, forgive them, or be like, it doesn't matter anymore. It's just more like, oh, yeah, like, I can understand where you're coming from. I still think what you did is wrong, and maybe they never apologized or whatever, but, like, you're not gonna hold on to, like, anger. Instead, you're holding on to just, like, I was hurt, but now I'm moving on, and, like, I'm healing, instead of, well, he's an asshole or she's an asshole because they did this to me, when, like, they might have not even fucking known what they were doing.
That's very funny that you bring up, like, the healing aspect, because I feel like when this specific, like, situationship happened.
Situationship.
Which is also another thing. I feel like first love doesn't necessarily have to be, like, a full-blown relationship. It sometimes it's just somebody that you, like...
brother that you were... I'm not saying this was your scenario, but, like, your brother you were in love with
it's
for a
just,
year.
like, it was just probably somebody that you really had, like, an intimate connection with. Anywho.
It could be a friend, I guess. Could it? None of my friends were definitely not my first love.
No, but I feel like it could be.
Like, it could be.
I feel like that's really? A gay story written somewhere.
You think it's a gay? But, like, friends.
Right?
Well, I mean, it could be a gay story, too, but, like, I feel like... You don't think, like, straight
But also,
platonic?
you're right. Love is reciprocated, so I feel like, no, it can't be. You know what I mean?
But, like...
Because then that's just, like, infatuation. Or, like, lust.
But genuine friendship, like, platonic love. I mean.
Oh, sure,
like,
but I don't know if that's, like...
love. But does that count?
But that doesn't count. That's
like,
romantic.
cousins. I'm like, my first platonic love was my cousin. Like, I don't fucking know.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that's like a different
Whole other
form,
topic.
but I do agree. But what I was talking about is like the healing aspect. I feel like when we were saying like you don't have to, or like after your first love doesn't necessarily mean that you have like relationships where like you had true love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't like, okay, that one fucked me up. Now let's get like
the next love. Yeah, like so like I don't feel like my relationship after that person, the
first love person.
Thanks. Was like actually love. I think it was a lot of like mistreatment and like abuse that turned into my brain into like thinking it was love. Anyway, but what I was gonna say is that's the healing aspect is very important, because I feel like when I was betrayed by my first love, I had like this moment where like I was like, yeah, I'm a bad bitch, like fuck you. And I moved very quickly into trying to reach for someone else's like validation because I wasn't validated. Or I didn't feel wanted. So like I was like, I'm gonna conquer this next person. My brain just worked like that.
Yup.
So after that, I got into a full-blown relationship, not even actually thinking if I wanted this person, but more of like, I just want to conquer this.
Like, I got that.
Like, I have this. Like, this is kind of difficult, but I'm gonna get it. It was like a test for myself, and I think that was really fucked up, and I very much, what's the word? Like, I brought in the wrong energy towards me. Like, not that I asked for it, but I think I definitely, like, allowed for the wrong energy to come into my life.
Yeah.
Because I didn't fully heal through the first love situation.
Yeah, I think, to avoid that, you just have to, like, be, emotionally intelligent enough to be like, hey, that shit kind of fucked me up.
Yeah.
And then just do the work. Sadly, we all gotta do fucking mental healing and work to be like, okay, what can I do better? What do I want to avoid? Because going into that relationship, you weren't like, what does this person have that the last one didn't?
Mm-mm.
Like, there was not that you need to compare people, but like, you know what you want more so after each thing. So
psychologically though, I feel like my brain very much like, because these two people were like on the same timeline kind of, so like I was dating the first love person like seriously for once. We weren't like together, but we were dating seriously, and at the same time I like met this new person, and so I was like, he's attractive in my brain. Anyway, I was like, I think he's attractive, but it was like, I'm just friendly. This is just friendly. This is just like a cute little banter at work. And then like once like he started to fuck up, the first love started to fuck up, I was like, oh, maybe I conquer this. You know, it was just like, it was more like I was reaching for what I got, like what's around me, versus like actually looking for a real
someone to be in a relationship with.
Correct.
It was just like,
and it just happened. And I think because I wasn't ever in a relationship with the first love type of person, I like reached for a relationship.
You were like, let's be together.
Let's be
together. Let's be official. Let's fucking do this thing.
Yeah, because I wanted to conquer the fact that I could get somebody
in a relationship.
To be with me.
Yeah, which is like
so
stupid
fucking fucked up.
And sad because obviously, hello.
I'm gonna tell my therapist to listen to this episode.
Stupid.
Anyway.
She's gonna be like, really? This is a whole session.
It's a whole session. I think healing is very important after certain love aspects happen in your life.
Yeah.
You should take the time to like really feel everything out, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's different for everyone. I mean, some people need years, some people need months, some people need...
I wouldn't say days.
No, I was not going to say days. Heck no. I was going to say, like, therapy. Some people need friends. Some people need art outlets. Like, you just got to find whatever it is that's going to help you heal.
Totally.
Zhuzh
a little.
Zhuzh that. Well, that was it for this part of the podcast. We are going to talk a little bit more about some live, some breakup songs we like.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys there. Welcome freaking bringing back. Oh my god, we didn't even address the setup.
Oh yeah.
We have frames up.
If you're watching on YouTube.
Be exciting. That's pretty much...
This is probably what the background's gonna look like. We're still looking for
chairs
seating options
and a nightstand.
nightstand.
They were drinking a marg out of our new pink glasses. I don't know if they're like martini or anything specific.
They look martini looking.
Yeah.
We have chamoy, of course, as always.
We're supposed to talk about what the hell love is supposed to feel like, basically.
Yeah. So I guess like the difference between first love and like real love.
I'm like trying to freaking dissect again. I'm like, crushes escalates to first
love.
Or young love. And then first love.
And then real love.
Yes. So the escalation between crush to first love was deeper connection.
Right.
Actually going on dates.
More intimacy.
More intimacy. Real love. What would you say is that jump?
Like lots of thoughts.
You're like lots of things, lots of stuff.
A lot more like commitment in general. I think
Not
like
us being betrayed and being like the commitment level.
you need to be committed.
That would be nice.
I think the difference is like young love or like first love stuff is like, the way I could best describe it is like in those moments you think that love is enough to like sustain you guys, or like love is enough to...
Right, so you're saying like you feel very like, well, because I love him.
Yeah, or like bad things happen between you guys, but you're like, but it's fine because we love each other and it's gonna work out. And it's like
there's
like love is not the answer for everything. Does that make sense?
Or like a baby is not the answer for everything.
Right, it's the same thing.
The same thing. It's a band-aid.
It's not like, it's not enough. So like I think real love pushes you further than just like the feeling of love, but more like the commitment of love. I think real love, yes, it's still like magical and all that shit, but it's also like a decision that you're making to be with a person. It's like it's a commitment. It's like whether or not you feel 100% for them like all of the time. Like you could be hella fucking pissed at them, really angry at them, but you're like, I'm still gonna be with them. Like this is just a fleeting moment. Like I decided I'm gonna be with this person and I'm gonna figure this out. Right.
It's a choice.
Versus like before, it's like, oh, this person, whatever, doesn't like love me enough, so that's why I'm leaving. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's actually not, because they can't commit to you.
Right. So like you think it ended because you're like, well, it's just because we didn't love each other enough. But it's like, that didn't really have anything to do with it.
Like you guys could have loved each other.
Mm-hmm. But you just weren't either grown enough.
You weren't grown enough to make the commitment aspect of like, you know what I mean?
Working on yourself, working on...
Because real love...
them working on themselves.
Real love goes beyond just the feeling of love. Beyond like the magical twinkle toes fucking...
Sparkflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you love them in the moments that it feels really fucking rough.
Yeah. But like mad love. Like you can still be mad.
Yeah.
But like love.
But I love you.
Does that make sense? Yeah, I was gonna say like growing and working on yourself. I think there's like a lot of humbleness in real love. Like realizing like, because like
humility.
In my last relationship, it was very much like, I am perfect.
I'm never wrong.
I am literally perfect. It's them. Because in that scenario, low key, it kind of was like that. But that's because they were not meeting me in a real love, honest space. Yeah. So, like, I was forced to be the better one in terms of relationship. Like, I'm not saying I was a better person. I'm not saying I was, like, better overall. Like, I'm better than him. Whatever. Yeah. I'm just saying I was more committed. Like, I was more ready for that real love.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense.
Wow. That was therapy right there.
Just figured it out.
I was committed. Wow. I mean, that's pretty much, that's it.
I think because like people get wrapped up about the word like love almost. It's like, yes, we're saying like crushes and young love and true love and real love. Mm-hmm. Like obviously the word and the term love is very present in these things, but I don't want to say love is a feeling, because like once you're in the real love state, it's like a decision you're making. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like people who are still in like young love or or first love, whatever, are hearing this and being like, that's so boring and mundane. Like, how could you describe love like that type thing, maybe?
Girl.
But it's not even like that it's boring or whatever. It's just like life gets harder when you get older. It's not as easy as like we meet each other after first period and
It's also like, that's true.
catch a movie after school. Like,
That's
it's not
true.
that easy.
But it's also like, again, like love isn't enough. Like you have to have somebody who also like respects you to a level or a degree that feels like, again, like a commitment, like that they're gonna be there for you even when it feels like the sparks aren't there or like
Hard, whatever.
yeah,
Hard.
because like, and there's moments in like real love that doesn't necessarily feel the way that like it felt when you have butterflies and shit. Like
Yeah.
it's more like beyond, it sounds so mundane, but it's not. It's like it's a deeper level of a connection with someone where you're like deciding to be there for them all of the time. And yes, you're like working, I don't know, it's like,
I think, okay.
You know what I mean?
I think, like, you get excited about different things. Like, it's no longer like, oh my god, they bought me something, whatever. It's more like, oh my god, they realized they said something that hurt my feelings and they were like, I'm so sorry, what can I do to fix it? Or something.
and they're correcting it. Yeah.
Or, like, I didn't even have to ask them and they asked me how my day was or whatever. I don't know. You just, like, trying to give examples. But, like, it's no longer like monetary or even experiential, like, oh my god, will they take me here or like whatever. It's more like they do something that's so respectful to who I am and what I'm trying to do
Yeah.
and be or whatever.
I think like also like first love is like you're almost like first-hand experiencing what love is like, and then in real love you're trying to grow with a person at the same time, and so it becomes a lot about like how this person can best support you instead of it being like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like it makes sense in my head, but I don't know out loud if someone's listening if that would make sense. Let me give an example.
Okay.
Like, let's say you tell your partner that, you know, you're having a rough day because of certain thoughts that you're having about yourself, about whatever the hell you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, oh, I'm here for you, babe. It's like, I understand that you may need your space. Like, okay, I got one. This is not like a personal example. It's just like an example that I'm thinking of. But like, for example, if you're committed with somebody and this person is like, you know what, I'm feeling really lost with my life. I don't know who I am right now. Like, I know that I love you. Again, love is not enough, right? I know that I love you, but I'm feeling really lost in my life, and I feel like maybe like I'm putting a relationship in the forefront and I'm kind of in the back burner. Example. Mm-hmm. And then the other person who actually truly loves you and it's a real love situation has your back, and yes, it's like, I support you, but it's like, how can I either like put myself aside and allow you to
get hurt
and allow you to explore whatever it is that you need to explore, but I'm still here for you. You know, it's like the real love is like a decision of like, I'm still gonna be here even though like this kind of like isn't fully like it's a so love story. Hard. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not about the love story, but more about like the commitment that somebody has to you in your hardest times.
Yeah, I was gonna say, leading off of like why we think love is supposed to be a certain type of way is because of movies. Like, yeah, it's always like, even if there's hardships in this fucking movie, like he's just not that into you, it's still like, it's like girly, but yeah, like, when we finally kissed, it was like, oh my god, we're here forever, and that's it, like, period, together.
And then it ends there, but it doesn't show you
like the day to day, because it
doesn't show you like after the initial like incredible moment of how like they work together on the happily ever after part. Yeah, like, what does that look like?
A movie would be boring as fuck.
And
they tried making those.
That's true.
They're not good.
But I feel like that's why it fucks up a lot of people with, like, movie love, because we all expect it to feel like the happy ever after moment. But
like,
then,
every day, too.
Every day. And then, like, but that's not, like, real life. Like, after that, they probably have a lot more issues that weren't just, like, the initial issues anymore, but they have other issues that are more personal to them.
Mm-hmm. It's like them coming to the relationship with, like, hey, I have trauma, or...
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think fair enough.
Exactly.
That's fair enough.
But anyway, we're still fucking going through things, so maybe we don't have the full scope of what that looks like, but I feel like we're both in a real love situation where we feel very deeply connected, but also, like, it's a decision that we're making every day versus, like a feeling.
And, like, also, young love was very, like, ignore the red flags. Like, don't even talk about them. Don't consider them. Not talk about them, but, like, think about them. It was just, like, it's a way, girl. Like, just do
See
it.
what happens.
Yeah, but now it's very thoughtful, and, yeah, you give everything a little more thought, a little more intention to that commitment. Versus back then, it was, like, well, I'm committed no matter what. Like... or not really committed, but, like, I'm in love no matter what type thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, we're in love, so it's gonna work.
Yeah.
That was
it's like
thought.
you're holding on to the love aspect to, like, bring you through all of it. And it's like...
Mm-hmm. When in reality, like, you could love a million different people. And that's why love just ain't enough, sis. Man.
It's a decision to be in a partnership with someone. I think that's, like, the real love aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Anywho...
our favorite breakup songs?
That's a good segue.
To end it off.
Also, let us know if we should make a playlist. I think I'm gonna make it anyways. And just post it on our Go Getter. And I'll let you guys know what that is. But...
I love a good breakup playlist. Like, regardless of your situation, you can always listen to a breakup
Girl,
playlist.
I'm a sad girl at heart.
Oh, yeah.
I listen to shit all the time. I make like, breakup playlists for no reason.
No, like, I literally just cry to songs, and I'm like... like, oh my god.
When fucking Olivia Rodrigo shit came out, I was like, there's no reason
to be
two
this sad.
24-year-old ladies should be crying in a car screaming these songs. Like, there's no reason.
But there is.
There's a lot of reason. So, shit like that. That's a good one. That whole album.
Olivia Rodrigo, do it. Have to.
Go fuck it up.
Like, don't even care if it's relatable to you. You'll cry. It's a guarantee.
You don't have your phone with you, but I'm gonna...
Driver's License, without a doubt.
Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac, which, like... It's more like a happy song. For a breakup song, you know what I mean?
You have to have a mix sometimes. It can't all be sad.
It can't all be, like, scream, singing,
it's like,
crying. It's like, I need to give myself hope.
They're sad. Like, just fucking the worst of the worst. Like, I went through it. There's, like, fuck them.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, it'll be better.
It'll get better. Like, you're better off. Songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. My personal favorite, Me, Myself, and I by Beyonce. Also Irreplaceable by Beyonce. Classic. I love the song Dancing on My Own by Robin. That's like a fun one. Like, It's like, fuck you.
And it's
fine.
Also just like, hee hee.
Yeah.
You can picture me at the club, bitch. Oh, Dua Lipa.
Oh, Dua Peep. Dua Peep. What is it? New Rules? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, but no, the one where she's like, you shouldn't have come out if you didn't want to see me dancing with someone else. Yeah. It's the thing. It's like the big one, her big song.
Oh,
Don't start now.
Don't start now. I was thinking about her
Don't
old shit.
come out. Yeah.
I Don't Give a Fuck is a good one too, by her.
Yes. Olivia O'Brien, some good sad songs.
Sad songs too, yeah.
Jocelyn.
Kali Uchis has Loner. I also personally like Know What I Want. I think that's what it's called. Which, like, because I'm like, I know what I want and you don't, bitch. You know. Yes. Perfect Illusion by Lady Gaga is on here. Million Reasons by also her, which, like, that one's, like, sad. Like, you're still holding hope, but, like, sing it out.
There's, like, some songs too that aren't about a breakup at all. Like Demi Lovato's Stone Cold.
Oh, period.
Come on, like, not even breakup related, but go off. You Don't Do It For Me Anymore, Demi Lovato.
Those are hard on my heart.
Those hit.
I have Snow Allegra, her songs Emotional and Under the Influence, just because they're a little near and dear to my heart. The Only Exception. Like,
Oh,
it's a happy song, but it's like,
The
you
Only
fucked me up. It's like when you're still sad, you know?
Like it
sad
can't
and
be when
still
you're mad.
love. No.
You skip that one in the playlist if you're not ready.
Better Off by Ariana Grande.
I was thinking Solita by
Oh, that was a good one.
yeah, that was my jam last 2 years ago or whatever. Damn.
That's by Kelly Uchis also.
Mm-hmm.
Her song Bad Idea. Just go on to sorry, Ariana Grande's. Ghostin', if you wanna like fuck yourself up.
Damn.
And also In My Head is like one of my absolute favorites.
Fletcher's
a good one too. Other personal favorite, Godspeed by Frank Ocean. And or the one that James Blake created, the cover of. That one's really good.
Drake songs.
Adele.
Just
anything Adele.
Yeah.
Easy on Me recently came out.
The new one.
That one fucks me up.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, those are our favorites that we can think of currently. We will probably make a playlist and post it up.
Like an 8-hour playlist. We're like, look, just get in your feelings.
Just get in there. Just
feel it.
fill it out.
Yeah.
I hope this was like
Entertaining
at least. I feel like there was like just a lot of stories.
Yeah. Hopefully you can relate to them. Hopefully you were just as embarrassing as us, because if not, I am ashamed.
There's so much there.
I'm not actually ashamed. I'm just
That
kidding.
was just like a scratch of the surface of our embarrassing shit that we did
Oh yeah.
for a
Especially
little bit of a fake love.
Yeah, there's some stuff I'll just never repeat.
I think mine was like the most embarrassing. That was just good.
No, I've had like some private moments between that guy and I that were embarrassing.
Oh, same, bro.
Yeah. No, we're not doing it anyways. That's just for him and I to know.
It's also just like not rated for this TV.
If you guys would love and rated our version of our story,
go check it out on Patreon.
Yeah, if you guys can relate to any of this, or you need advice, you're currently going through a situation like this, we'd obviously love to help. And if you want to email us anonymously, make a fake email on the quick.
I would love to get
do.
like an advice section going on.
I would love to give advice.
I don't know if you think we're qualified, but
I've been through some stuff. Okay.
if you would want my take on it.
Yeah, it's always nice to just get someone's opinion. It's like getting a doctor's second opinion.
Not you comparing us to doctors.
Like, you have an ear infection? It's cancer.
We're WebMD.
We're the WebMD to your advice, okay? Talk to your therapist as well. Or someone qualified, please. Anyways, yeah, we'd love to do that. Yeah, if you haven't...
Subscribe?
If you haven't subscribed or downloaded any episodes...
Save our shit.
Please do that. It helps us a bunch.
Also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go leave a review. That's also really helpful.
Just follow us on Instagram, too.
Yeah, we have shit going on there. You can also see little trailers. Also just like photos that have to do a lot with
the episodes. Yeah, we posted a Halloween one of like us on Halloween back in the day, and then like back in the day, like college, and then like back in the day. I posted one.
I couldn't find any.
When I was like 8.
Couldn't find my devil costume.
Girl, you should have found, what was it, Britney Spears? The 3rd grade one?
No, that was the devil.
Oh, it was the devil?
Anyways, go check everything out. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.